At the beginning of the film, we will be introduced to a beautiful widow named LeBay, who is working on his craft clay business. LeBay has a daughter named Abigail, who is still in high school. That day, as usual after school, Abigail was picked up by Gabo, who was a driver as well as his peer. During lunch with LeBay and Abigail suddenly chat about romance issues. LeBay advised her son to prioritize his education first. Abigail says he has a girlfriend, and his relationship with Gabo he considers a friend. Here it is seen that LeBay is still traumatized by having a romantic relationship after divorcing her father Abigail. Because of her never-before-dated status, Abigail is often considered weak by her schoolmates. Once the girl was sitting alone at the bus stop, eating ice cream. Suddenly there is an adult man who hands him a handkerchief. Gently the man tells Abigail to clean the ice cream stains in his mouth using the handkerchief. Without introducing his name, the man then left as Gabo arrived, who wanted to pick up Abigail. It turns out that the incident left a special impression on Abigail, who in the end used the handkerchief as an object of his mischievous imagination. Unfortunately, the next day the man who owned the handkerchief did not appear, so Abigail failed to see his beautiful figure. Gabo arrives and takes Abigail home as usual. After changing clothes and having lunch, Abigail asked his mother for permission to play bike. LeBay also said there was something he wanted to say. After his son came home from playing, on the way Abigail suddenly fell off his bike. It so happened that the man who owned the handkerchief yesterday passed by the place and helped Abigail. Abigail was even more fascinated by the man who in every speech quoted a verse from the Holy Bible. Finally the man said goodbye after refusing to have his handkerchief returned by Abigail. After that, Abigail met Gabo at his usual place. They hang out there. Gabo expresses his love for Abigail. Abigail rejects Gabo because he considers him to be his brother. When he returned to Abigail's house, he was surprised by the presence of the man who owned the handkerchief there. It turns out that the guy named Jarek is LeBay's new boyfriend, aka Abigail's own mother. LeBay introduced Jarek as a preacher who would stay with them. Abigail, who is upset now, can only eavesdrop on his mother's intimacy with Jarek in the room, as well as observing Jarek, who was taking a shower from the slightly open bathroom door. Gabo, who knows that Abigail has a crush on the older Jarek, immediately laughs at the girl. Especially after Abigail revealed that Jarek turned out to be his own mother's boyfriend. Of course, Gabo's behavior is based on jealousy. There was a friend of Abigail's who had a crush on him. Gabo also used the girl to channel his desire. Jarek's occupation was that of a preacher, making LeBay believe strongly in the man. One day when he had a need outside the city, LeBay then entrusted Abigail to Jarek. In order for Abigail to feel comfortable around him, Jarek positioned himself as a father. He even treated her like his own daughter. Like hypnotized, Abigail, who had been asleep, was finally willing to be invited to make out. It was here that for the first time Abigail lost his virginity. While they were making out, Gabo suddenly came and saw the scene. Unfortunately, Gabo is already running away when Abigail tries to explain to him. Jarek reassures Abigail that his mother will not be hurt as long as they keep it a secret. And they continued to do so unabashedly. The next morning LeBay came home from out of town. Without the slightest suspicion, LeBay even prepared breakfast for the two of them. During the day, Abigail finds Gabo in his usual place, so they made a secret of what they saw last night. One day after returning from school, Abigail is jealous of the warmth of his mother and Jarek. Jarek, who knows this, then secretly seduces Abigail again. And they always make fun of each other when LeBay is not at home. One day while enjoying breakfast together, Jarek expressed his intention to preach in another city for a few days. Abigail, who had been feeling unwell, suddenly collapsed. When Abigail found out she was pregnant, he was immediately greeted by his mother. LeBay was disappointed why Abigail could get pregnant at such a young age, as she once was. Because he loves Abigail so much, Gabo is willing to take responsibility for the pregnancy. In a fit of rage, LeBay tells Gabo to marry his daughter after they turn 18. And from then on Gabo was required to stay there to accompany Abigail. Jarek, who is the real father of Abigail's child, continues to act as if he is a saint and knows nothing. It turns out that as a child Jarek, an orphan, was abused by a person in an orphanage. Meanwhile, Gabbo's presence made Jarek so uneasy and burned by the flames of jealousy. Finally, when there was an opportunity to chat with Abigail, the man asked him to run away together. At different times while Gabbo was at work, he witnessed an elderly woman block the speed of Jarek's motorcycle. Failing to stop her, the woman asks Gabbo for a ride. The old woman was met by LeBay, who was shopping in the market. Finally, the truth about Jeremiah. Jarek, who likes to rape girls in every area he visited. It was at such a precise moment that Gabbo also revealed his secret to LeBay. Meanwhile at home, Jarek forces Abigail to run away with him. Here Abigail rejected him because he did not want to disappoint his mother again. It was not long before LeBay and Gabbo attacked Jarek. Unfortunately, Abigail had to die while protecting his mother from Jarek's attack. Abigail eventually died in his mother's arms, while Jarek managed to escape to nowhere. The story then moves to the next few months, where Gabbo is seen sitting alone in the place where he usually sits with Abigail. She looks so much better in her school uniform. LeBay tells Gabbo to forget Abigail and continue his education, and do not get tired to love. The film ends when the two embrace.